everybody, I'm so glad you're here. This is a great time of the year. You know what the special event is, don't you? Well, it's Easter time. Did you hear me? No, it's Easter time coming up. We have, how many more days left today? 4 more days and it's Easter. So for me, being a believer in Jesus, it's all about Him, okay? This is Holy Week, and that's what it is. It's the journey that Jesus took through Israel and on the donkey and proclaiming heaven for everyone, right?
No bunny?
Wait a minute, then the bunnies came. The bunnies came because the people were having such a good time, I guess. And they love little bunnies. I used to take care of bunnies.
Yeah?
Yeah, here in LA. Somebody owned them. And I was a dog walker. And they said, oh, my dog likes you so much, we're gonna go away. Can you take care of our bunnies? And I said, oh, okay. It turns out she had 4 bunnies in her backyard in a crate. Oh, beautiful bunnies. And you have to let them out. Everything is closed. Around we have a gate and a fence and everything. Oh, but this one guy, bunny, his name was Peter. Of all names, a famous name. I'm going to tell you about that in a few minutes. But I want to ask you, why do we have those wonderful things? Well, for your enjoyment, we have the bunnies, we have the Easter eggs, we have an egg hunt, all kinds of
Lilies.
things. What? Oh, the lilies are growing? Oh, yes, they're wonderful. So, excuse me. What happens when you tell jokes around Easter eggs? Look what I got here. This is a silly little card. What happens when you tell jokes about Easter eggs? Well, it says they crack up. Oh, you can all laugh. You can all crack up. It's all right. It's supposed to be funny, okay? And then you got, it just so happens, I love this card. If you notice, it's a duck, and he has a mic. And we are having open mic here at the NoHo Diner. Thank you. And this is one of our duckies. But he didn't come tonight, ducky. But somebody else came, hobbling along. A new style bunny, a new bunny. Look at the ears. He has nice ears. He's a loving bunny. You have to hug him and love him and all that good stuff. And his colors, the colors are kind of like Easter colors. You know, pastels. What?
Is he equal opportunity bunny?
Equal opportunity.
Yeah, is that why he's so many colors?
No. Oh, equal opportunity. No, but he's eating carrots.
Oh.
And that's his little feet.
Okay.
And these are his ears. But bunnies are really nice. But my mother did something that made me horrified of bunnies. She cooked them on the fire escape. She soaked them in the vinegar after they went hunting. And they caught a couple of bunnies. And I couldn't stand seeing the bunnies dead. And they were soaking them. And she made what they call Hoffenfuss. Something like that. Anybody German here? Oh, well, I'm half German, but it was Hoffenfuss. Something like that. I couldn't eat it. It was all dark meat. They loved it. And then they bake it in the oven. And of course, the poor little bunny was cleaned out and everything. I don't even want to talk about it. What was it called?
The whole bunny put in
The whole bunny, I guess, without the head. Oh, I don't want to talk about it. Hassenfuss? Something like that. Oh, God, poor bunny. Anyway, my love brought me this little bunny to cuddle. and love, because I'm going to tell you about the famous bunny in a little while. But wait, I have one more thing. Oh, I dropped that card. Could you get that card for me, sir? He's the producer of the show. Oh, Harry, thank you so much. Look at this lovely little card. Isn't that sweet? I got it from my cousin in Boston. It says, Easter blessings. It's got a bunny on it. You know, it's got a bunny on it. And inside, she shares about the special Jesus to us. Wishing you all the blessings of God's love at Easter. Because that's the big prize. God kept his promises. You believe in him and you go to heaven.
Like a basket full of promises.
A basket full of love and promises. Thank God for his marvelous love, and better known as miraculous love.
Right.
For his miracle mercy, and it's in Psalm 107 verse 8, and it's considered the message. So if you're all interested to know a little bit more about Jesus than that, why don't you check out the Bible. It says Psalm 107 verse 8, and it's called the message. And that's, I guess, the message that Jesus brought for all of us. But I just thought that was such a lovely little card. So you live your faith, right? And it brings you to the prize at the end when you die, which is heaven.
Basket full of promises.
Yeah, basket full of bunnies and all kinds of Easter eggs and right things, right? Okay, so that's the fun stuff I wanted to tell you. And a friend of mine is having a wonderful Easter party at the First Baptist Church over here. I brought the fly. Oh, thank you, Robbie. This is it. Look at that. An Easter party. Easter egg hunt for kids. And they even got a piñata for the Spanish kids that love it. They love piñatas, you know, and the candy comes.
It's for the Spanish people.
Well, it's for everybody, not just the Spanish people. But they created the piñata. That's what I meant. Anyway, we have a live DJ, and it's put on by Operation Love, which is an organization that a friend of mine, a reverend friend of mine, Connie, she started it, I think it's 20 years ago, over 20 years now. And she feeds the homeless and helps people out in the community and gets them what they need. And I help her with that at least once a week, okay? And anybody wants to come, she travels, she's also a missionary, and she travels to other countries once a year. So anyway, we're having our annual Easter party outdoors. It's down on Lancashire Boulevard and on Seagull Street, right by Prime Fresh. It's free, everything's free. Come and enjoy the fun. Easter baskets are going to be given out. I think we have 95 Easter baskets to give out. So if you want to come early, you can eat something, have hot dogs and all those good things. Yes.
That sounds expensive. Can you donate to Operation Love?
Oh, of course you can. Anybody can donate. You can donate money for food, to keep these programs going for the community, helping people or giving them some guidance where they can get help
We're
or housing.
feeding everybody, right?
Yeah, they're feeding everybody. But homemade things. This one we're going to have hot dogs, beans, salads, I think a turkey, somebody.
Big turkey?
A big turkey, you were going to make it, right? Yeah. Anyway, it goes on and on. It's a fun festival for love of God, the community of all kinds of people, okay? There's no labels on people. We don't want to do that. We all are brothers and sisters and children of God. When we're made, we are born because of God, right? So let's keep that love going, right?
Yeah.
Love and happiness, that's what it's all about. So please join us. It's this Saturday coming from 1 to 4 down by the church. You want to bring something to give out? You can do that. and we'll have a DJ there. There'll be some dancing, and the kids have one of those jumping machines.
Are you going to be dancing?
Oh, I'll be with the music dancing, yeah.
Are you going to eat and have a sweet tooth and everything?
Oh yeah, everything's, it's outside and round tables, and we have a big yard with a lot of trees. And inside the social hall, we can seat about 50 people.
Really?
Yeah. So those that have to be inside, you can go inside.
It sounds like a party.
It is a party from 1 to 4. Bring your kids, bring your friends, and bring a date. And I'll see you then. And don't be late. Okay, so without any further ado, before I introduce the star today will be the rabbit, Peter the rabbit. Okay, so we're going to talk about him in a little while, but I have a special guest tonight. Gigi is her name. She is our technical director. He is Jimmy, and that is his lovely wife. And they just love to come out and participate and do creative things. Without them, we have no show. Okay? So, happy Easter coming up to you. Gigi, thanks for coming tonight. And of course, Jimmy, your husband, is here doing the greatest job. Check us out on YouTube. Okay? So, now we have this wonderful actor here as our guest. This is Harrietha. And he was in my acting workshop because I teach the vision acting workshop. It's been 20 years I've had that workshop. Had a lot of actors come and go, and now we're back. So that's great. So Harry came from you dropped out of the air, right?
Huh?
You dropped out of the air.
It happens.
Yeah, it happens. Guess what? Air Force guy. Okay, come on up, Harry. He loves writing poetry. This is his new hobby. So, besides acting, whoops, there you go. Hi, thank you. Thank you for being here again. He is dedicated to the art of writing poetry. And it's wonderful. He's going to invite you into some new poetry that he just writes. Okay? Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you. That was wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
My first poem, everybody, is called Springtime. Spring has sprung. Don't you feel young? It's like the world has just begun. I love the cycles and regeneration we go through. A spiritual cleansing, then we get set up for a new year with some new things learned and some new gear. Christmas gives us a chance to gift what someone close to you will need this year. Use your instinct and it should be clear how thoughtful and considerate you've been this year. I'll be proud of you for being so dear. I can really use some more friends, that's clear. You can't have too many caring for you. Surround yourself with people you like, and your happiness will spike, just like Mike.
All right. Nice. So that's called Springtime.
Yeah.
All right.
Remember Mike?
What else do you have?
I have two more. This one's called Forward Ho. I like things to be simple and straightforward, where the goals are clear to move toward. It's a beautiful thing, I just love it. People who shy away from awesome stuff border on being a coward. Why not invite good things as things to move toward? It's a good way to be, just try it and see. It might just result in some personal glee. There is exactly one way to find out if there is satisfaction in my plea. Everyone is different. Try it and see.
All right, you want to try it, Gigi?
You never know.
Yeah, we're going to try it. All
You never
right.
know. Oh. Okay, this one's for you, Gigi.
What's the name of it?
It's called What Do You Do? It says, when you need guidance, where do you look? where do you go? You know yourself better than anyone, so you should know who you trust, someone who knows, someone who gets it and it shows, who you have faith in, and who you know. Over time, your relation is likely to grow. People need each other. They often complement one another. These are seeds that are likely to grow and certainly are worth sowing. Its value almost immediately will start showing. Pray for instinct and you'll start glowing. Before you know it, you'll be broing, seemingly related to everyone. Everybody will be your brother.
All right.
That's called growing. That's coined a word, yeah. Broing, when you call everybody brother and you act like you're closer than you really are.
Here comes from brotherhood.
Yeah, you just bro everybody, and that makes you a popular person.
All right.
You know what I mean, right? Act like everybody's your brother.
Wow, it's a famous book. I got it out of the library. I love our library here. Check it out. And it's the complete tales of Beatrix Potter. And she wrote many, many books. I'll tell you real briefly about her. The Tale of Peter Rabbit is the one I chose because it coincides with Easter, right? And the rabbit and the Easter bunny and the eggs and the egg hunt for the other animals. Okay, so Beatrix Potter at her home farm in 1907. But she was born, here's a picture of her here. I'm not sure where she was born. I'm going to find out in a minute. This is cold reading, okay? Beatrix Potter was born in 1866 and grew up living conventionally sheltered life of a Victorian child in a well-to-do household. She didn't go to school, but she was educated at home in London by a governess, and so had few opportunities to mix with other children. Her other brother was 6 years younger, and he went away to school. So Beatrix constantly was alone. So she had pets, many pets, animals, and she kept bringing them to her school. It was a room in those days, one room. She would watch them for hours, studying their behavior and sketching them with great skill. She was quite an artist. Each summer, Beatrix, that name is different for me. Beatrix. Well, okay. Potter's father leased a country home 3 months out of the year. At first it was in Scotland and later in the Lake District. She started to observe the animals and the plants from their own observation and lifestyle. And she loved it, and she wanted a career as a children's storyteller, which is what I'm trying to do today. Be a storyteller to you about this wonderful artist. And she began when The Tale of Peter Rabbit, that's today's story, was published in 1902. Several firms rejected the story, but the public loved it as soon as it came out. She burst with ideas and produced an average of 2 books every year from then on in 1910. The money she earned, she gave her independence as a woman writer. Although she was living at home with her mother and father, she helped them out. In 1905, Beatrix she met an editor. Her editor was Norman Wayne, and he proposed a marriage to her. In spite of the opposition from her parents, who considered him trade, she did marry him and accepted. But his early death only a few weeks later, tragically ended the engagement. How sad, isn't that sad? The same year she bought her first property in the Lake District, Hilltop, and started writing again. She spent as much time as she could there. The farm was surrounding the countryside. Again, she started writing and thinking about writing stories of these animals. And in 1913, at the age of 47, another man proposed marriage. William Heelis, a local solicitor, and made her a permanent home. Writing and painting she began. And the second was to farming, sheep herding, and back to the lakeside country to consider her observation of these animals. For the last 30 years of her life, farming and preservation of the land became her main concerns. She died in 1943, but she left 4,000 acres of land to farming to the nation. She was a remarkable woman with a truly original imagination, an artist and literary talent, visionary, and she had the strength of her mind to find creative fulfillment. So that is where I'd like to begin. The Tale of Peter Rabbit. You want to start with it?
Sure.
This is 1902.
I know. It's amazing, isn't it?
Step up to the light.
This is where it starts. Once upon a time, there were 4 little rabbits, and their names were Flopsy, Mopsy, Cottontail, and Peter. They lived with their mother in a sandbank, underneath the root of a very big fir tree. "Now, my dears," said old Mrs. Rabbit, "one morning you may go to the fields and down the lane, but don't go into Mr. McGregor's garden. Your father had an accident there. He was put in a pie for Mrs. McGregor." Serious stuff. Then old Mrs. Rabbit took a basket with her umbrella and went through the wood to the baker's. She bought a loaf of brown bread and 5 currant buns. Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail, who were very good bunnies, went down to the lane to gather blackberries. But Peter, who was a very naughty, ran straight away to Mr. McGregor's garden and squeezed under the gate. First he ate some lettuce, then some French beans, and then he headed for the radishes. And then, feeling rather sick, he went for some parsley. Therapeutic, right? But round the end of a cucumber frame, whom should he meet? Mr. McGregor. Mr. McGregor was mad. He was on his hands and knees planting out young cabbages, but he jumped up and ran after Peter, waving a rake and calling out, "Stop, thief, stop!" Peter was almost dreadfully frightened and rushed all over the garden. He'd forgotten how he got in under the gate. He lost one of his shoes amongst the cabbages and the other amongst the potatoes. So now he was shoeless. Imagine that, a rabbit with no shoes. After losing them, he ran on 4 legs and went much faster. So he was doing better. So that, I think, he might have got away altogether if he had not unfortunately ran into the gooseberry net, which caught the large buttons on his jacket. It was a blue jacket with brass buttons, quite new. Peter gave himself up for lost and shed big tears. He'd had it. But his sobs were overheard by some friendly sparrows who flew him in great excitement and implored him to exert himself. You know, fight. Thank you. I need sound effects. Oh, thank you, Robbie. Mr. McGregor came up with a sieve, which he intended to sift out Peter the Rabbit. But Peter wiggled out just in time, leaving his jacket behind. So now he's naked, no jacket, no shoes, and rushed into the tool shed and jumped into a can. It would have been a great place to hide, but it was filled with water. So he was soaked. Mr. McGregor was quite sure that Peter was somewhere in the tool shed, perhaps hidden beneath a flower pot. He began to turn them over carefully, looking under each. Presently, Peter sneezed. Kerchoo! Mr. McGregor was after him in no time and tried to put his foot on Peter, who jumped out the window, upsetting 3 plants. The window was too small for Mr. McGregor. He couldn't get out. And he was tired of running after Peter. He gave up, and he went back to his work. So Peter got to sit down and rest. He was out of breath and trembling with fright, and he had not at least idea which way to go and how to get out of his dilemma. Also, he was very damp, soaking wet from sitting in that can. After a time, he began to wonder about going limpidity, whatever that means. Limpidity, not very fast, and looking all around. He found a door in the wall, but it was locked, and there was no room for a fat little rabbit to squeeze underneath. That was his whole plan. An old mouse was running in and out over the stone doorstep, carrying peas and beans to her family in the rotten wood. Peter asked her the way to the gate, but she had such a large pea in her mouth she could not answer. She could only shook her head and look at Peter. Then he tried to find his way across the garden, but he became more and more puzzled. Presently, he came to a pond where Mr. McGregor filled his water cans. A white cat was staring at some goldfish. She sat very, very still, but now and then the tip of her tail would twitch as if she were alive. Peter thought it best to go away in a different direction, so he didn't speak to her. He had heard about cats from his cousin, cute little Benjamin Bunny. Everybody knows Benjamin Bunny, I think. He went back towards the tool shed, but suddenly, quite close to him, he heard a noise of a hoe. Scratch, 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 scratch. Peter shuddered underneath the bushes, but presently out, nothing happened. He came out and climbed over the wheelbarrow and peeped over. The first thing he saw was Mr. McGregor hoeing onions. His back was turned toward Peter, thank God. And beyond him was the gate.
Peter got down very quickly off the wheelbarrow and started running as fast as he could go along a straight walk behind some beautiful black currant bushes. Mr. McGregor caught sight of him at the corner, and Peter did not care. He slipped under the gate. Oh, and was safe at last in the wood outside the garden. Mr. McGregor hung up his little jacket and the shoes for a scarecrow to frighten the birds that all...
He escaped the garden?
Almost.
You got away?
We'll see. No. Here. For you.
Drums.
Okay. Peter never stopped running. He looked behind him until he got home to the big fir tree. He was so tired. Oh, he flopped down. So tired that he flopped down upon the nice soft sand on the floor of the rabbit hole and shut his eyes. His mother was looking busy cooking, and she said, "Where is Peter?" She wondered what he had done with his clothes. Oh my God! It was the second little jacket and pair of shoes that Peter had lost in a fortnight. I am so sorry to hear that Peter was not very well during the evening. His mother put him to bed and made him some chamomile tea, and she got a dose and gave it to Peter. Look. eaten 1 teaspoon, and he was taken to bed at last. But Floppy, Mopsy, and Cottontail had bread and butter and blackberries for supper, made by their mom right here. And that is the end of the Peter Cottontail.
That's a happy ending?
Yeah, it's a happy ending. He went to sleep. Unfortunately, he didn't get the berries, but the other boys got the berries. It's a lovely tale. So that was a little excitement there. We added to it without any rehearsal or without any prep. But that's what we do. And children love it. And I think the adults love it too. So tune in next week. We'll continue the tale of Peter Rabbit and the Squirrel Nutkin. Okay, if you're interested. And that was in 1903. And that tale goes on with the squirrels. She wrote about the squirrels. There's many different books in here that she wrote. I think there's at least 19 different stories. So we'll end on a good note. We have some noise in the background there, but anyway, that's the story. So I hope you enjoyed the series today, and come back. It's every Wednesday night at 7:30 to about 9
Or so.
or so. You can have some nice food here, homemade style,
Chili's great.
a chili style, or just some drinks. We don't offer a fee for any of the open mic. So if you have a talent, come and see me earlier in the show, before the show starts at 7:30, and I'll sign you up. And we are a non-profit now.
Tell me about the Costco girls.
We are a non-profit now. So I would like to suggest anytime you'd like to participate and make a donation, come and see me here at the restaurant, okay? And that'll help us continue many different types of series and entertainment for you right here in a local spot of NoHo Diner. Bye now. Hope you liked it. Bye. And oh, Happy New Year. Oh, Happy New Year. Wait, I'm rushing the whole year away. This is what happens when you read these children's fantasy stories. No, it's Happy Easter. Okay, bye.